Welcome to Alpha Book Club. This is the world's best online interactive book club that you can join anywhere with internet. I'm your prehistoric host, Rachel Hine. I actually wore a dinosaur shirt yesterday. Why did I do that?
Fail.
It was a raptor shirt. As always, I'm joined by host of Animation Investigations, Hector Navarro.
Yes.
And Geek Bombs, Maud Garrett. So,
We're communicating. Maud and I smell a kid in this kitchen.
oh God, that gave me such nightmares.
Yes, seriously.
Yeah, so good.
Such nightmares. Also, welcome to our Alpha community. We're so happy you're joining us this month. We missed you last week. Maud and I weren't here. And just a reminder, if you've got a friend who would love Alpha Book Club, tell them to use the promo code PADFOOT from Harry Potter to get 60 free days of Alpha. Then they can come and join us. They can read the next Harry
8 episodes.
That's 8 episodes. You can finish Jurassic Park.
Wow.
You can do, we're doing Goblet of Fire next.
Hell yeah.
And then who knows what's after that? We don't know.
Padfoot could also apply to the bottom of a brontosaurus's foot,
That's
like
true.
in Jurassic Park.
It could.
The padding of the foot.
Yeah.
Padfoot.
The as on it,
Littlefoot.
the little
Littlefoot.
Whoa.
Littlefoot's pad.
We
Littlefoot's
can't
padding.
talk about Land Before Time. I will legitimately cry.
All those characters are dead.
There you are, Petrie.
No matter how you slice it, those characters are dead.
All the dinosaurs died too. Until now.
Until Jurassic Park. Yes. Welcome. Don't sing the theme song. Thanks,
Yep.
Aaron.
I can hear
Don't
it.
do it.
I can hear it.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, Java Book Geek Girl. I hope you had a great vacation.
Yay.
Oh my God, I don't know why we're talking about the animated Hobbit, but it's great and I love it.
I still haven't seen
The
it. I cannot
Gollum,
wait to watch it.
We need to do the Hobbit.
Yes, I agree.
For book club.
I
and
never
also
read it.
Watch. Oh, it's so
I
great.
tried.
It's so much
Really?
better than
The
Lord of the
Hobbit?
Rings. Sorry,
I
don't
tried
kill
Lord of
me.
the Rings when I was 18 and I
No,
was
we
like,
got to do the
No,
Hobbit.
I've never been able to get
19
through it.
words to describe a flower.
Because-
Yes, no, the Hobbit is much shorter.
Even
and
today on Twitter, our Brosif was saying how he prefers the Star Wars prequels to the Hobbits movies.
Oh,
because the Hobbits were those films squandered so much good material, and I love the Hobbit book and the Lord of the Rings movies, but having read The Hobbit as an adult, I'm like, y'all, it's not as great as you remember. It's really silly. It's a really
That's why
silly.
it's fun.
Exactly, and that's great, but it's not like
very
not
silly.
like good. It's like silly
No,
good.
it's, for,
not
it's
like,
a fun kids.
Yes.
It's definitely a
Yes.
kids book.
There
and I
are
read
two
it.
hot dwarves.
I
like to- I'd like
can't
to-
talk about the movies.
I'd like to
They make
Philly
me-
those killies, you know what I'm saying?
Ooh, that was
What?
good.
Huh?
What did you say?
I said I'd like to Philly those killies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
That was good. That was good.
In.
No, but the
do
animated
it.
Hobbit, we'll read it and we have to watch it
Okay.
because the
right.
Gollum in that scared
Is he really? Yeah.
the bejesus out of me.
Okay.
when I
Then
was
we
a
have to
kid.
watch the Ewoks animated TV show.
Okay.
Chihuahua.
Hector, what did we
my
miss last
childhood.
week?
Oh, just the greatest book ever written of all time, Jurassic
Whoa.
Park, Michael Crichton.
Hey,
No, it was good. We had a good time.
Kudos where kudos due. You have been suggesting this one for over a year now.
I know, I'm so
This
happy.
has
It's
been
great.
your pick,
It's-
and I
it's-
always was like, yeah, I've seen the movie, I kind of get it.
Sure.
Thank you.
It's good.
This
Yeah,
is
it's great.
rocking my world.
I missed you guys so much. I texted y'all.
I know.
We had a great time.
This book.
We had a great time.
We text
very
all the
authentic.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, we do.
We have an alpha book club.
Aaron
group
jumped
chat.
in,
We're
Amy
real
jumped
friends.
in. We talked about it, and we had an awesome time, and we discussed our history with
Yay,
Jurassic
Aaron,
Park.
by the way.
Yes, that was great.
I want to be on a show with
Yeah.
Aaron.
Aaron, just come and tag me out. They
Aaron-
want to do a show with you. Okay, all right. I'll sit this one out.
Aaron's
I'll sit over
great.
there. I'll sit over there and just yell at you guys while you guys do the show.
Yeah,
That's
go,
not,
"Don't
that's
sing."
weird. Yeah, exactly. But we should talk about that. What is your guys' history with Jurassic Park? You never read the book. You've read the book?
I read the book when I was probably in middle school.
After
and
you'd seen the movie?
I'd seen the movie. I remember where I saw the movie because it wasn't
Wow.
in a theater. It was at somebody's house.
Oh.
Because I grew up with a single mom, and I feel
Sure.
like she probably. And my dad didn't really go to the my dad took me to Beauty and the Beast and stuff like that.
Cool.
And I was at someone's house, maybe a boyfriend of my mom's. I don't remember where we were, but it was a nice. I can kind of remember that there was a very big outside yard area, which was not something I had growing up because I lived in apartments and stuff. And watching it, and there was I think it was one of my mom's boyfriend, and his son had it on, and I was pretty young, and I watched it, and it really scared me.
It's really scary.
scared me. Yeah.
Guys, it's frightening.
Yeah.
And
I
then
mean, I was 5 when I first saw it.
I think I was
5. 5?
Yes.
Yeah, I think I
Too
was
young.
probably
Yeah.
6
Too
or
young.
Well, you guys
7.
missed my story, but I have a whole story about it.
Did it involve wetting your pants?
No, but it does involve
Good.
my dad taking me out of the theater because I was crying and
Oh,
screaming
it's
and
your
hiding under the
contact.
seat.
Yeah, no,
It's,
that's
sure,
happened.
it's my contact. That you got taken out of here for contact. For
It
the
was
movie
my
Contact?
first existential crisis
I'm
panic
sorry.
attack. Yeah.
Contact.
We're
That's
small in the universe.
Yes.
I was like 8 or no, I think I was 10, and I was like, oh no, this is bad.
My girlfriend had the same thing happen with Ant-Man,
Oh,
where it was like the existential crisis of like, oh my God, if we shrink too much, we'll shrink forever, and that's scarier than being lost in space, floating.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
that dread.
I mean, maybe I've got no worries. I'm just chilled.
That's true.
I'm like, this is fun.
Well,
yeah.
Kuna
very
Matata
brave.
for you, Maud. How old
Yeah.
were you when you first saw Jurassic Park?
So I remember because like McDonald's had done affiliations with it, and there was
Oh,
like,
yeah,
all
the Happy
toys
Meal
and stuff. Oh my
stuff,
gosh! And I was like,
probably?
I want to watch it, and they actually cut the trailers and advertisement for it to look very family friendly.
Yeah.
I kicked up a stink. I
It's
was
not.
like, I want to go, and Mum says, no, you're too young. So I took my older brothers, who hid under Mum's coat in
Yeah.
the cinema, and
Yeah.
Mum was hiding behind her eyes. And I remember them being shook. I was like, how was it? And they were like,
Yeah.
white.
Don't go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, but there's like a little girl who looks like me
Yep.
in it, and this should be fine. So it was a little bit before I saw it, and I remember being absolute like crap my dacks over the kitchen scene. But I've
That's
seen
a good
it
one.
enough.
I like that one.
I've seen it enough times that I thoroughly enjoy it now. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like
amazing.
I feed on it because it's so.
Yeah,
good.
because you're not a big horror fan.
No.
Yeah, but this one's
like,
scary.
Every time I eat jelly now, it's like.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I'll just randomly and spontaneously bust out, they're flocking this way. And yeah.
Do people look like, should we go? Is it Gallimimus? We gotta run.
And of course, I can do a really great
Let's
Velociraptor
hear it.
and
Yes.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
Let's
sure
hear
can.
it.
And it's very loud. It's going to blow some ears.
Okay,
It's
everybody-
all-
Everyone prepare.
Get ready. We've got
turn it
hands
down a
on the
little bit.
volume. Here
Prepare.
we
So
go.
there's a
Velociraptor.
banner that's falling down.
Oh, we're doing T-Rex? Okay,
Yeah,
great.
the
When
banner's-
dinosaurs ruled the world.
So good.
It's so good because she got how like it starts strong, but there's a bit of a drop.
Yeah, and
in
it does,
in
and
the
it's
decibels.
very
You
and-
got you
guttural.
like have to
Yeah.
it's in the
Gotta
throat.
push
Wow,
it.
that's amazing.
Thank you.
And then one more time, your
Stop
Velociraptor.
it.
Oh no, the Velociraptor took me a long time because
Yeah.
I didn't really. The first time I tried it was definitely in public, and my friend said you can't do that in public. And I was like, because I was doing the calling the friends while trying to open the kitchen door. 'cause you know
Yeah.
they learnt that.
Yeah.
So here I am being like, this is such a Velociraptor impersonation. And he's like, no,
Yeah.
you cannot do that. And I was like, I don't understand. I'm obviously a Velociraptor.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How can you misinterpret
What
this
is
at
somebody gonna be
all?
like? Oh no, she needs help. No, they're gonna be like, she's doing a Velociraptor from Jurassic Park. That's iconic.
That's what I
Yeah.
assumed, and then realized. I was like, got it. So I worked at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is it now?
It's more of a bark. I still do a bit of too much dolphin with the. It's too much dolphin, but the bark. It's a sharp bark.
Yeah, it's like a chomp.
Hey, how
love
do
it.
you feel about the differences between the book and the movie so far? We are asking you that on our little projectalpha.com
Mm-hmm.
poll. A lot of people
You
voting.
got some points, even though we're not doing the House Cup this month for
Oh,
your
nice.
impressions. I think that's good.
Very nice.
I read this when I was probably 12 or 13, but this wasn't the first Crichton book I read. I think I read
Congo.
Sphere first,
Yeah.
maybe because I watched the movie.
Okay.
And then
He
I read
wrote ER. Did you know that, guys?
ER the book.
No, ER, the television series. He,
wrote-
created
he
ER.
wrote all of it.
He created ER.
That's awesome.
He wrote some really great stuff, and
So we can thank him for George Clooney.
Yeah.
That's great.
Noah Wiley.
thanks, Michael Crichton.
Thanks,
many
Michael.
seasons is that go
I
for?
read The Andromeda Strain, which is fun. Congo, which another movie that scared me a lot. Sphere, Prey, which is not in the beginning of this one, but that's about nanobots. That one's fun. Timeline, which is a very crappy Paul
Walker movie,
Paul
yeah.
Walker R.I.P. movie, but the book is really great.
What was that one?
It's a time travel one, like back to. It's good. But the writing is so accessible
Yeah.
and fun, and it's sort of like. Popcorn, I think, has a sort of negative or fluffy connotation, but it does feel like
not
that
to me,
kind
yeah.
of like you can't get enough of what they're doing, and especially with all of the science and the grids and the kind of imagery that's in the book, which I really like to kind of illustrate that point. But a lot of hard sci-fi gets really dry, and I check out.
It's the equivalent to the world building that we've seen in like Assassin's Apprentice.
Yes.
It's that where it's like,
or Lord of the Rings, where it's like,
got to build it up.
How
so
many
hard.
ways can you describe a mountain? I don't know. Many. And it's the same with science.
But yeah, he trims the fat on a lot of things. He tells you what you need to know, but he does it in such a palatable fashion that you're following along, and I felt like I was learning as well.
Yeah, me too.
And the fact that he
agree,
was writing this in the 80s, but he's talking about I was going to say genetic disposition, but like genetic modifications and stuff that is still to this day super, super relevant and super on point. And he's almost like predicting what's been happening in science for like the last 30, 40, 30
electric
years.
cars, and how the computer systems are all like their own independent systems and can't be hacked, and all these different things. And I'm like, this is all relevant still.
Yeah.
Even in the beginning, when they're talking about global warming and the environment and the way that the Earth has changed, and the descriptions of what the Earth looked like when the dinosaurs lived, I thought that was really great. And I have trouble visualizing, but I was like, ooh, I really liked that section. It felt really descriptive without overdoing it.
I think
go ahead.
Is it fair to say that Michael Crichton is basically injecting himself into this book as Dr. Ian Malcolm?
Yes.
Because he's the guy who is just explaining this all to you.
Agreed.
Which is what...
I mean...
And I get it. I get it, Hector. Like, I'm reading this book having seen the movie and knowing the movie inside and out now.
Helps.
And it is just really effortless to read.
You said you were doing the
for me.
audiobook. How's the audiobook?
It's by it sounds like a bit of an older man, and he's not differentiating between the voices too much, and he's not doing a great job with the little girl's voice and the kids' voices, which is a problem I found when we did The Giver as well.
Yeah. How awesome would it be if they
But I've been reading it too. I just left the book on the plane.
If they hired Goldblum, or at the very least, like actors that are trying to emulate their voices in 1993. Do you know what I mean?
So
like that would be phenomenal.
I went to see at a place, where Jeff Goldblum does his jazz night.
The Rockwell.
Which we need to go to.
I've already told Jeff Goldblum we're going.
Oh, good. Because I've been so many times, he knows.
Yeah.
He's like, where's your group? I was like,
it's just me. Hi.
No. My mom
just
for
me
her
by
birthday.
myself. I'm sad.
Hi, hello.
Jeff. It's me, Rachel.
Me with a glass of wine. What are you doing after this? But no,
my button.
Yeah. Every time I see him, I'm like, I'm gonna be cool this time. Then I'm just like, floating.
Yeah, no, he's amazing.
But at Rockwell, where he does that, they also do unofficial musical parodies of movies. And I've done Hocus Pocus, which is really great, and
they did Jurassic Park.
They did Jurassic Park,
gosh.
And it's sort of like a jukebox musical in that they take modern songs, but they rewrite the lyrics, and it totally skewers the movie that they're doing, and so everyone's like hyper, like the guy who played Jeff Goldblum is just laying around and being really sexy, but he did such a good Goldblum, and then every time he had a Goldblum like ism where he just went off for a while, and then afterwards he had these cards for Jeff Goldblum's jazz show, and he was like,
That's
Jeff
great.
Goldblum, every Wednesday at Rockwell,
Yeah.
every time. And he was so
So
charming.
funny.
So they should get him to do it if Jeff Goldblum won't do it. But
I've
he
got
probably
another
will.
poll coming up right now. Speaking of Jeff Goldblum, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate his performance as Dr. Ian Malcolm? I've just seen this bar climb up.
1,000.
It just soared. It was sitting on 1 for a moment, but then you guys realised it was there, and now it's on 9. 9 out of 10 for Jeff Goldblum's portrayal as Dr.
How
Ian
is it only
Malcolm.
a 9?
I think he's perfect. I think he was perfectly cast.
He's
Perfect.
so
He's
good.
perfectly cast.
And the thing is in the book, he's a little bit more of a creep. Just a little. He's more forward
About the shorts, the
about
comment
everything.
about the shorts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But in the movie, he touches her hand. and he didn't do
and
that
that was
till after
that
LA
was a
Sailor.
moment as well. Oh.
Jeff Goldblum.
I know.
Is a he's a handsy man.
Yes, he is.
But it has never made me feel uncomfortable.
he
It
can
is a
pull it off,
charming,
yes.
and there was this great, I think it was GQ, they did a profile of him, and we were actually, I took some of the editors when Amy Ratcliffe joined the team to go, that's like we go like team bonding and go see Jeff Goldblum, and they were doing the photo shoot for GQ there, but they interviewed Gina Davis and all of these people who have worked with him, all the Wes Anderson people, Sam Neill, and they were just like, anyone else you'd think that it would be creepy, but he's just it's so him and charming, and he doesn't mean it in a creepy way, but he is like, he's just,
Very handsy and
He
touchy.
almost does it to like calm you though. I feel.
and it is, he is
so soothing.
He has this like magical quality that very few people have.
Do you want to know what he'll say if he meets you? Yes, hello, right, okay. So it's
Yeah.
like, Hector, what's your name? What is your name? What is your
Hector.
name? Hector.
Yeah.
Hector.
Yep.
A lot of
Hector.
hands
Hector.
moving.
Hector. What is your last name?
Navarro.
Hector Navarro. Hector. No, but
Oh,
great
I like
name.
that.
Great name. What is
Yeah.
that? What is that?
What
You
is
know
that?
what? I went around this town. I met a Navarro, and it was, and you go on the story.
And he does
But
the
while-
movie
Yeah.
game
You know.
at the
Yeah.
Jazz. He does 6 Degrees of Jeff Goldblum
Yeah.
with
Oh,
the movie
really?
game, and so he'll go, okay, Jurassic
it's
Park.
all in this one train of
and it all
thought.
leads. He leads everything back to
So
him.
what
and he
you could say
plays with,
an actor and he can connect him to
and
himself.
you do it with him.
Yeah.
During the show.
Oh my
in
God, I
between.
want to do that so
Yeah.
bad.
We
That's
were
like my
gonna-
favorite
And he's
thing.
brilliant.
As soon as whenever he's not filming, because I know
Mm-hmm.
right now he's doing press
Press.
for
Mm-hmm.
that, but whenever he's not filming, he goes and does it there on Wednesdays. so
God.
I
when,
think he
when he
has-
comes back, we're going.
Yes.
If anyone's in LA,
So name an actor. Just go ahead. Name an actor. No, other than Jeff Goldblum. Name any other actor. Nope. Somebody who's not in a Jurassic Park film.
As far away from Jeff as you can think.
Carrie Fisher. Okay. Okay. Carrie Fisher. So Star Wars. We're heading to Jurassic Park. So we've got Carrie Fisher was of course in The Last Jedi with Laura Dern. Laura Dern. Jurassic Park. Boom. Two.
that's
Done.
exactly what he does. That's what he does.
Done.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's
There you have it.
amazing. And
It's just fixing your collars that
Yeah,
don't
it's-
exist. That's all it is. That's all he's doing.
over and over
it's
and
just
over,
like,
yeah.
I have no collars
It's
here,
so-
but,
But
I have a watch.
I'm being told to get back to this, but before I do, I do have to say that when I met him, everyone was like, "Oh, she's our editor." We went
Yeah.
up to him, took a picture.
Yeah.
She's our editor in chief. She brought us, and he was like, "Let me see your hands. Your talented hands." And I was like,
Mel.
Good talented hand.
And that was the
anyway,
last we ever saw of Rachel.
yeah, and then we got married. He does like younger, tall brunettes. I'm
Yes,
just
he
saying.
does.
I mean,
I'd hate
I've
it.
been brunette before. So
Yeah, no,
I'm not afraid to do it.
I'm
again.
happy to.
Goldblum,
share.
I'd hate it. It feels like Laura Dern's not even acting in the scene where he is touching her hand.
Oh,
If
no.
there's a camera there and
I-
she's
it's
right, and she's
just-
just like, what? I don't know. You know.
And actually, reading this Ellie Sattler, such commendable casting. I actually never
Yeah.
got it before. I don't know what it was. I had a disconnect with her. I thought that
With
Sam
Sattler?
Neill was just so strong, and
Yeah.
so was Jeff. And
Yeah.
I thought that she was kind of just bouncing back and forth
And
between
now
them. But now
you
I get
see-
it. I
yeah.
Yeah,
get it.
you
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
her. Yeah, and
I
Sam
love
Neill
Laura
is so great, and I'm definitely seeing them and hearing them in my head, and it really
Yes.
it does
it
work because
enhances
it's an
it.
iconic movie.
Yes, it
Such
enhances
perfect
it.
casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really brilliant casting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This quote that I'm about to say, I'm
Yep.
going to say it because it actually means that I'm right in every capacity. Ian Malcolm, I do maths. There is an S on maths. It is maths.
It's
It is
British
not-
or Australian, right? Yeah.
but it's correct, is where I'm getting at.
Oh, sure.
Right? Because Ian Malcolm is a mathematician and he's brilliant and it's written by an actual scientist. And even though his character is American, he is using maths as the
Is
S.
Malcolm American?
Yeah, he's in
He's Texan.
Texan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he's supposed to be?
Yeah,
Because he does
he's
say
Texan.
bloody, because he says bloody hell, and I'm like, that's Americans
But
don't
he's
say that.
but he's also pretentious, and he
He
dresses
is
like a rock
bloody
star in
hell.
all black.
Yeah,
I know,
yeah,
it's
you're
so
right.
good.
You're
Did I
right.
just bite my bottom lip? No.
Yeah. So he's definitely more forward with Ellie in the novel, but I love his explanations, and the chaos theory comes a little bit earlier. I like that they do it later in the book so that because it is a little, I don't know if it's because we know the movie, it feels a little telegraphed.
Right.
So far where it's like, we know it's dinosaurs. There's a dinosaur in the book, and where they're like,
And that was hard. You can't keep that a secret.
yeah. But
Yeah.
and they don't go too long in the book trying to kind of, oh, it's maybe a dinosaur. But it's also really, what do you guys think about kind of the scary moments? Because the scary moments in the movie are very, like that T-Rex scene. More practical effects, please. Bring
Yeah.
them back. They're
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
It holds up so well.
Yes.
I haven't rewatched it, but
Oh, it
I
does.
have recently, but like within a few years. But I'm excited to rewatch this one. And also, I'm just gonna say it. I like The Lost World.
Oh, I keep
Ooh.
forgetting that Julianne Moore and Vince Vaughn were in it.
Yeah.
Hey, Stephen,
Controversial.
come at me, bro. It's not math. I saw you in the chat. I saw that. No, I'm not letting that slide.
Called out.
Maths is not wrong.
Called out.
Alpha
Life,
Goldblum Club.
finds a
That's
way.
true.
Maths.
Maths. If maths is not wrong, then neither is alphabets and letters. Yeah, that all sounds right. Yeah, it's all right.
Letters. Okay.
Letters is
Alphabet
right.
is
Just
the
saying-
one thing. The alphabet is the collective.
Oh, I
There's
see.
different
alphabet,
types
but
of
letters.
maths. There's
So other
different
s-
types of maths. There's
No,
geometry.
because it's mathematics. It's not mathematic.
Oh.
No, but it's the abbreviation. Maths.
She's gonna get up and velociraptor you.
But it's not T-Rexes, it's T-Rex.
What do you think?
It's a herd of T-Rex.
What do you think about the some of the changes in the characters that they have, and some of the extra characters?
Changes from movie to book. I am fine with book versions of all the characters. I think that they all work. I think it's really interesting that Alan Grant likes kids.
Yes, that was jarring.
Which is huge.
I loved that change in the movie.
change.
It really added to it.
I think it makes sense. It kind of makes sense in this story that Alan likes children. They explain it perfectly where he's like, why wouldn't you like a group of people that are interested in dinosaurs?
And everyone had a dinosaur phase as a kid. Did you guys?
Yes.
Mine was
Absolutely.
before space. I was obsessed with
Absolutely.
space around
Yeah.
9, but from like 5 to 8, dinosaurs. And I have to confess something, guys.
What's that?
Everyone had a favorite dinosaur, right? I liked Triceratopses because of Sarah and the Land Before Time. But I also liked
A long neck.
a long neck sea creature, or I don't know if it was land or sea, but
You're going to say something vulgar, I could tell.
no, I've just said it wrong my whole life.
Oh,
It's another one of those words that
Hermioneopolosaurus?
I thought it was a diplodocus. And every time we've talked
Diplodocus?
about dinosaurs, I'm like, man, shout out to Diplodocus one
It's
time.
it's
It's Diplodocus.
Diplodocus?
Oh.
I'm fine with that.
It's Diplodocus. I want it
Maud,
to be
how dare
Diplodocus so
Yeah.
bad.
That's okay.
5-year-old Maud is shrieking.
I had a dinosaur phase, but my little stepbrother had every dinosaur-sized toy
Cool.
thing in his room, and that was like how I bonded with him. I was more of a like Egyptian history nerd
Yeah.
when I was little.
Yeah, but that was I know, as an adult.
Yeah, and into adulthood. But Land Before Time was a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
And I feel like Don Bluth is another one of those influences where it's like, oh, you like sad stuff? Why is that?
Yeah, Don Bluth.
Because you love Don Bluth.
Yeah, you grew up with Rockadoodle, Chanticleer. Yeah, you're sad.
Rockadoodle and Scary, Rats of Nim.
Yeah, one of their movies.
What?
One of the movie franchises is All Dogs
Have
Go
you
to
seen-
Heaven.
Oh,
That's sad.
God.
It's about a dog dying.
It's messed up. Wait, and Thumbelina, love Thumbelina.
Yeah,
That's
it's all
a weird
messed up,
one.
yeah.
They tried to all marry her. But Hector, you
yeah.
found a photo of how Malcolm
I
was
did.
supposed to look, right?
Because this is also shocking to me. You read the description for Ian Malcolm, and it says he's balding. And I was like, that's not Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum's a rock star. So I looked up what characters in Jurassic Park the book should look like, and I was hoping somebody would have just photoshopped Jeff Goldblum, but instead I found this wonderful art from artist Christy Steffens. This was something I believe that she posted on her blog, because it's her favorite book, and she created these characters as like animated
love
style
it.
character designs.
his
There's Alan
Nikes.
Grant. What's that?
He looks like wearing Nike Air Tops.
Who? Alan Grant?
Yeah, look at his
Absolutely.
feet.
He's
Yeah.
definitely rocking the dad look,
He's
and he
like
has
a
a beard.
dad
Yes.
paleontologist.
And he and Christy has the kids like ages swapped like the book, and everything's kind of based off of the book, which I think is fascinating. And that's Ian Malcolm right there in the middle with he's basically still Ian Malcolm, dressed from head to toe in black, but he has like a little bit of a receding hairline, and
he looks more
yeah,
professional than Jeff Goldblum. Jeff
Yeah.
Goldblum is in like
sunglasses.
He looks like a rock star.
he looks
Leather
like a
jacket.
rock star. Yeah.
But it works.
Yeah.
It's
Perfect
like
casting as well for Newman. I'll never know
Perfect.
his name.
Oh
You know
man.
who I'm talking
yeah.
about.
Wayne Newton.
Wayne
Perfect.
Newton, yeah.
Nedry.
Hold
and
on to
again,
your butts.
hold on. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's
Samuel
Sam
L.
Jackson's
Samuel L.
character.
Jackson.
Who we meet
Arnold?
later.
That's Arnold,
Arnold,
right?
that's right.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I definitely hear Sam Jackson. But
Muldoon. Oh, in the
No,
Definitely
he's
hear that guy.
he's African in the audiobook.
oh, is he really?
cool.
Interesting. Who Muldoon or
Arnold.
Arnold? Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I really like getting into the like Wu and the other scientists kind of being
Get
like
more of Dr. Wu.
yeah, going like y'all, this is bad. Like
Yeah.
the whole time, and
You know what's so interesting? The conversation that Dr. Wu has with Hammond in this section
Yeah.
was kind of replicated in Jurassic World.
Yes.
Yeah.
When they brought back Dr.
Yeah,
Wu and he was
yeah.
like, all of the dinosaurs in this park are fake. None of
Yeah.
these are real dinosaurs.
it's
We
exact-
modified these. These are not actually dinosaurs as they were millions of years ago.
Yeah.
We've inputted them with frog and lizard DNA. So we can go ahead and that gives us the right to make the Extremosaurus or whatever it was
Yeah,
that they
the-
called. Was it the Indominus Rex? They're like,
No, but
we
he-
can,
no,
we
but
can
he
do that
wanted to
because
Tame them a little bit more. He
yeah,
wanted to make them
they were too fast,
slower.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it
he
would be
wasn't wrong.
very scary. And I
He's
also
not wrong.
Yeah.
super not wrong.
Yeah.
They are vicious predators. We would not exist
yes.
for very long. They
Yes.
would destroy us. And
But I
why do
love
they
that
keep making
conversation.
parks? Why do they keep doing it?
The solution is just do leaf
Chris
eaters. That's it.
Oh, I know,
That's
like
it.
Littlefoot. But I really like.
Oh, I said Wayne Newton instead of Wayne Knight. Whoops. Wayne
Oh.
Newton is Vegas Vegas Standby. That's right.
Oh yeah, and
Wayne
also
Knight.
Newton
Wayne
sounds
Knight.
like Newman.
Exactly. Wayne Newman.
Yeah.
That's the actor's name.
But I also noticed this. Maybe you guys talked about this last week, but in the intro with the babies getting snatched and
I know.
murdered, and
And she didn't report it.
I know.
What the hell? The baby's
And
face
no
got
one,
eaten off.
and no one like checked.
Yeah.
Like SIDS and your face getting ripped off are very different. Like that's a different thing.
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
That was jarring for me.
But the
So
little
good.
girl who gets nipped
Yeah.
is from the second one. Is from The
They
Lost
put that
World.
scene
They
in
put
The
that
Lost
in
World.
there,
They
which
put
I
I like that they're
compies.
using this as,
you have
Lost
little
World.
parts
Correct
of
source
that.
material.
And I think I'm gonna read The Lost World after
Me
this
too.
because
Me too.
it's fun, and I am excited to see the new one because the poster where it's just all dinosaurs
Yeah.
and flames. I was like, oh, I'm in. That's it. That got
Was that
me.
a fan-made poster?
No, that was a real poster.
Because I feel like
They
was
embraced the camp and
Was it Colin Trevorrow who directed Jurassic World? I think
Yep.
he tweeted like, when you give an opportunity to a fan to design a poster and they nail it. And I don't know if he was
maybe it was
making
a
fun.
Maybe it was
may
a
have been like a
contest,
contest or
but
something.
It was awesome,
I don't know.
and I was like,
yeah.
this just
It's
sold
just
me
dinosaurs.
on the movie. Yeah.
Another great comparison between the book and the movie is I think that the moments of wonder in the book, they're there, but they do not come close to Steven Spielberg showing us these characters seeing a brontosaurus for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
That was so
Do you know what I mean?
incredible.
Seeing
Yeah.
if they do move in herds, like the music, it's gorgeous, and it really is so. It's such a high,
It's
like
a lot-
it's
it's-
such a beautiful moment of wonder. And I feel like the book, what it nails up to that point and after that, is all of the dread and the suspense, and
Yeah.
it builds it up so well as it being really scary with Tim seeing a raptor, and then they're like, "No, kid, you didn't see a raptor." Like all of these little
It's
things
like,
that are
no, I
leading
know
up to
dinosaurs.
it. Yes,
Yeah.
all leading up to it. The movie doesn't really. It kind of does that, but it just like goes straight to dread when the T-Rex gets out.
Yeah.
And you also know that as well with Ian, no, not Ian, John Hammond saying, they're just picking it apart, they're so negative already.
Yes.
And I thought that was interesting where the wow factor kind
Yes.
of dissipated quite quickly. It was like, well, this is incredible, but. And he was wanting that awe and that suspension of disbelief to kind of continue.
Spielberg held it. It seemed like longer
Yeah.
than it took place in the book.
Which
yeah.
is very Spielberg-esque.
Yes, that's
and
his specialty.
And yeah, that like heartfelt kind of awe and magic of filmmaking. But it also, I think, takes you that it makes that drop to the dread so
Totally.
much
Yeah.
more intense. But I do get, there are scenes where in the book where Alan Grant is looking at the baby raptor, which.
Yeah.
Am I the only one who kind of thought of a mean little kitten, like a hairless kitten, when I was reading it? Because it was like, it hissed at him, and I was like, "Oh, it's a little baby."
It's
I
a
thought it was
baby.
cute. The description sounded cute, evil but cute.
I like
or
that what they
vicious.
did in the movie with like the and it like
No, and
poked
they're-
its head through.
They're
and it was
super
like,
cute
yeah.
but vicious. But what I liked was that he's trying to be kind of a scientist about it. And they're like, well, no, don't do that because they get upset and we don't know what happens. It's like, yeah, you created this thing and you don't know how to take care of it.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. They're all sick. They're
The
all
Stegosaurus is like they're dying
yeah.
every
They're like
6
their
weeks.
skin's real dry. They're all itchy. It's like, what did you like?
The Tyrannosaurus gets sunburned.
I know.
I was so glad that Dr. Ian Malcolm just started laughing hysterically
Yeah.
at that because I was like, yeah, seriously, you've
That
created a
made me really
Tyrannosaurus and it's got sunburn issues.
But it makes me so sad for them. Like
Yeah.
these creatures are being created and
The
they're
freaks,
just,
man.
Yeah, and that's probably, even though they're on the island, like it's not the same climate. It's as
Exactly.
close as you can get, but it's
The
still not
air is
there.
different.
Yeah.
Crichton
the
does such a
oxygen.
good job of like making the case for this should never happen.
No.
The movie, even though it's terrifying, is
You're like,
so full of wonder
"Ooh,
that you're
yeah."
like, maybe we can figure this out. Maybe we should do a Jurassic Park
Just
for
don't
real.
get the mean ones.
Yeah.
But then they're so big. It's like,
Yeah.
dude, elephants are kind of scary. Like they're
Yeah,
sweet,
they are.
but they're big.
Yeah, they
so
are.
they're
They'll
crush you.
scary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We got another little poll happening here.
Oh.
Which classic Jurassic Park line is your favorite? It is a quotable movie.
You got to read them all, Mod, because I can't even see them from
You
here.
got to do them all.
Hold on to your butts.
That's
Is at
pretty good.
22%, 21% at the
I say that all the time.
They do travel in herds.
They do move in herds.
No, it says they do
Yeah,
travel
that's-
in
you got it,
herds.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember that one as clearly.
That's when
That's-
they first in the movie when
Yeah.
when Alan Grant and Ellie Sattler when they first see the dinosaurs they
do
look over
travel in
and there's a group
herds.
and Alan Grant's almost crying with
I
the
just thought
wonder.
I would just put in brackets the removal of the glasses. So
yeah,
Yeah.
that's good. Or the turning of the head, the turning of the
Yeah,
Laura Dern.
yes,
Like, Alan,
yes.
look at this plant. Look at the, you know, that thing.
That was great. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing, and you don't get that in the book because it's
Yeah.
all words, and this one's very it's well done. Life finds a way.
Excellent.
good one.
24%.
Excellent.
Clever girl. 44%.
Very good. Very good.
That's a good one.
Other. And if you have an other, oh, that's it. That's one I do all the time.
That's a good one.
Dodson. We got
Magic
Dodson
word?
here. Dodson. See, no one cares.
I'm gonna go with "Woman Inherits the Earth."
That's a
Oh,
great
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Sequence is one
It's a
of my
Linux
favorites.
system.
Yeah.
It's a Linux system. That's another good one.
Shout out to Hannah, my Geek Bomb contributor. She has a tattoo of a velociraptor
Cool.
skeleton, and it says, what is it? Dinosaur eat man.
Yeah.
Eats man.
Man
that's
creates
great.
dinosaur. Dinosaur eats man. Woman inherits the earth.
That's her giant tattoo on
No,
her
it's,
arm.
it's
Great.
So cool.
it's-
That's
it's
really cool.
God creates man.
Oh yeah.
Man destroys God.
Man destroys
God creates
Pop us in the
dinosaurs.
chat too.
God destroys dinosaurs. God creates man. Man destroys God. Man creates
Creates dinosaur.
dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs
Rule
Dinosaurs
the
destroy
earth.
man.
destroy man. Women rule.
Dinosaurs
Eat
eat
man.
man.
Women rule.
Woman inherit the earth.
Yes.
Woman
Thanks,
inherit the
Aaron.
earth.
Yeah, it's great.
Man, what else do I quote from that movie? I always
It's
say,
so good.
must go
Hold on to
faster.
your butts a
Must go
lot.
faster.
Yeah. Must go faster is a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hello. I really hate that man. Yeah, that's a good one.
A cat who games says, I always say, that's one big pile of shit.
Oh my God.
That's
so good.
wonderful.
Yeah.
He just left us. He left us.
Oh yeah, that's
left us.
a lot.
Well,
in the
that's
book.
we get into this section where
Hey, sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go.
That's true. That's a good one. Yeah, it's so quotable, and we have these other characters too who are just like, dude, don't do this. This is like from the get go. Everyone who's going is like, bad idea.
Yeah.
Bad
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Gennaro is knows that it's going to be terrible. But even Hammond is frustrating in the movie. He's very frustrating in the book. Where you're like, what are you doing?
That conversation that he has with Wu, where he no longer listens to logic and reason, it's like, no, this is my vision, and I will only see it this way above anything else. And there's like
But
that
see, I
blind
buy it.
determination.
Do you know why I buy it? Because
a
that
rich
is the
dude.
ego of man. Because he's a rich dude. Because it's Steve Jobs. Because it's Willy Wonka. Because it's Walt Disney. Because it's this guy that has this vision.
Elon Musk.
That's like, let me just sell people
Spare no
flamethrowers. I'm
expense.
Elon Musk. I know what I'm doing.
Spare
yeah.
no expense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Drink every time
Yeah.
he said spared no expense.
That's
Back
a
in
good one.
business, must go faster.
I'm
It's
so
kind
glad
of
some
a
of the
ride.
great writing in this finds its way into the film in different ways. If it's not that exact scene
I just noticed
translated.
the dinosaurs behind us.
Yeah.
Oh,
Isn't that great?
so fun.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What's that?
I'm excited to
word.
rewatch it. It's
Man, I
been
hate
many
this hack
years.
of crap.
Oh, my favorite. I think I've already done it before, but run,
Yeah.
run. I
you have.
bust that out all the time.
I knew you were gonna do Laura Dern.
You do a good Laura Dern.
She's my girl.
God bless you. What a great line.
Oh, yeah.
He says, God bless you.
To
Get
the-
it?
this-
Ooh, to the genetically engineered dinosaur.
Never
God
even
bless
occurred
you.
to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
See, I just enjoy it at face value.
Yeah.
I never
So
dig
good.
around.
And we've talked about the little foreshadowing seatbelt thing at the beginning, right? You know
Yep.
about that?
Yep.
Okay, great.
One more time, though.
The theme of the movie, Life Finds a Way. Dr. Alan Grant, he is the one, along
Oh,
with
yeah.
everybody else, to discover that females
That's
are,
right,
are like all of a sudden
seatbelt.
turning male, and he has two female ends, and he still ties it. Life finds a way.
Yes.
The way
Yeah.
that the female dinosaurs spontaneously will revert or turn into other genders so that they can procreate on the island. They
Yeah,
found a
it's-
pregnant. Oh God, is this true? Vance 1982 says,
No.
Hector, they found a pregnant T-Rex, and scientist says
No.
this makes it closer to cloning a T-Rex.
No, don't do it.
I say do it, but like get ready to shoot in the head immediately if it acts up.
Sounds
Just get
very
ready
expensive.
to take that sucker
What
out.
if you made him tiny?
You see, but then it'll just act very aggressively like an elephant. Michael Crichton
No,
said,
like really tiny.
like really tiny, like
Still bite your finger off.
yeah.
wouldn't it?
Ba-ba. Yeah, I was about to sing the song.
No!
But I'm gonna stop. When dinosaurs ruled the world.
Shoot her! Shoot her!
Oh, yeah.
That's a good one.
God.
Yeah. I think
and
Clever
the
Girl
ride,
won.
I
though.
remember when the ride at Universal Studios was built, and I
remember.
just recently went when I went to Harry Potter
was a frightening little
World,
ride.
and it is it's a scary
That
ride, and I
drop is
remember the drop
the real
is
deal.
intense, and the poisonous ones really got me.
Yeah.
They're great. That was fine.
But
It's
yeah,
just like,
it kinda
that's
reminded
it
me
was
of a
just
cat.
it was too much
A
of
little
a.
cat lizard.
I'm seeing a theme. You said it twice. 2 different dinosaurs,
Yeah.
both cats.
No, I'm still talking about the baby raptor. I just was thinking about it again.
I think my
was like,
dog,
oh, it's
my
cute.
dog's like a velociraptor. She would totally like zap the fence and then figure it out and
Nice.
then attack me. Yeah.
Pan,
Yeah, man.
sneaky little dude. Also jumps like full up in the air, really to the peephole in my
Like,
door,
oh.
and
What?
has figured stuff out. And like, yeah, he's a fluffy little dinosaur.
Oh,
This
you
is
spent all
a-
this time thinking if you could, you didn't stop to think if you should.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really
line.
good one.
That's a good one for science and
Yeah.
especially right now, tech.
Yes.
People
yep,
are
yep,
not kind of, you
Money,
know,
basically
money, money,
what-
money.
Kumail Nanjiani talks about that all the time
Yeah,
from
yes.
doing Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
got a new poll. I've just hijacked your polls, by the way.
no,
Rachel.
please, thank you.
Do you prefer an amusement park with rides or a safari with live animals?
I am from San Diego. I've never gone to the San Diego Wild Animal Park. I've only done the San Diego Zoo.
I've done the zoo.
I don't like
Yeah.
scary rides. So the thing with the Jurassic Park ride, that was just a little bit too steep and it went for a little bit too long. And I found out that when I'm petrified, like when I'm really scared, I can't make a noise when I scream anymore.
Oh.
So I started screaming and then nothing came out of my
Yeah.
mouth.
I always do when I'm on any kind of ride like that for some reason.
You duck?
I think it's Space Mountain did it to me because I saw it with the lights on when I was a kid. And I was a tall kid.
Yeah,
And I-
you're a tall person. You gotta
wor-
watch out.
You worry
Those
about
rides
that.
are.
I'm not I don't do roller coasters. That's probably the biggest one I can handle.
Yeah.
I don't do any upside downs anymore or any of that, the loops.
Have you done California Screamin' at California Adventure? It's the best.
I got tricked into Tower of Terror.
Yeah, sorry about that. I hate that ride, but it's cool now because it's Guardians of the Galaxy. But it's
No.
my least favorite
Is that
ride
the dropping
ever.
one?
Yeah,
no.
I hate it.
Dropping.
Oh, no,
It's
it's
a
bad.
big
It's so
shit.
cool, but I hate it.
The nature preserve and
Yeah.
zoos in general bum me out. They
Yeah.
bum me out a little bit.
Well, when I was in Hawaii, there was a pool area, so little area. Then they had like 3 to 6 dolphins, and they were
Did you
bred.
go?
It was in the hotel, like on the hotel
No. Oh,
grounds.
Oh wow.
I don't
And
like that.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
they
don't
say
like
that they were born into
Yeah,
captivity, and I'm like,
So were the
they're like,
dinosaurs.
That's all they know. And I was like, eh.
That's sad.
And it was quite big. Like they had a little bit of room to swim, but it was
Yeah.
still like
Not
a
the
fish tank,
ocean.
man. It was a fish
I know,
tank.
man.
Yeah.
I do love aquariums, but not when they're the big one. The
Yes.
bigger animals make me sad,
Yes.
like seals and stuff.
You
But
gotta watch Blackfish if you haven't seen it.
yeah,
I
The fact
like
that
it.
they're monetizing it. I just don't
Exactly.
like anything like if there's a circus where they've got an animal, or
Yeah.
anything like that. If you're monetizing, it's like dancing bears, man. Like no, not cool. Don't do it.
although The Greatest
I-
Showman has a great soundtrack.
Coming
but
from
that's upsetting.
that has nothing to do with anything.
It's
great
about a
soundtrack.
circus.
I know, but you're like, although The Great Showman has a
because I
great
watched
soundtrack.
it and I was like, this is
Okay.
depressing. P.T. Barnum was
But
a piece of shit, but the music's
sa-
really
the
good.
music's
yeah.
okay, good.
It's a good musical.
I am from San Diego, and they have 2 major things there. SeaWorld,
Mm-hmm.
which I do remember, and it's a big part of my childhood,
Mm.
and I kind of was taught that they care, and there are so many people there, and a lot of experts and a lot of doctors that care about these
They're
animals, and
yeah,
they're trying to do
but
the
it's
right
still-
thing.
Still
But
monetized.
there's also like trainers that are like, you're not a marine biologist. You kind of like started working there in high school, and you're working with these animals, and it's a job, and that's what it is. And even though you love these animals, like the whole system is kind of messed
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
I will defend the San Diego Zoo a little bit. The zoo itself, which is around Balboa Park, it does feel a little Jurassic Parky when you go there
because
because
it's
they
so
have
big.
because it's so commercialized.
Yeah.
Because they have a fun map, and they're trying to make a zoo into a Disneyland, and it's
Mm-hmm.
the closest one that you can get to it because the San Diego Zoo is world famous.
Oh, yeah, I've
they
been
have
to that.
pandas. It's beautiful, and they do care for these animals and do a lot of conservation things and that kind of stuff. So like, if you're gonna do a zoo, I like the San Diego Zoo, but there is still this level of like,
I have that with the Long Beach Aquarium. I used
Yeah.
to go.
we didn't
Yeah.
know who won. We talked
Oh,
about
yeah,
it
who
so
won?
hard, we didn't know
Oh.
who won it.
Amusement park.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
I think
Yeah.
so. When I was a summer camp counselor,
What?
oh yeah, at theater camp.
I'm sorry, I've seen the second Addams Family movie. I did not think that you would enjoy any kind of summer camp in any
Well, it was a
capacity.
theater-
Wednesday
it
was
was
in
a
that, so
the-
you were the Wednesday
no,
Addams
it was just
of that.
that it was
Oh.
a theater camp, so I got
Oh,
to
cool.
do like Bye Bye Birdie and
Yeah.
oh yeah. I went there as a kid, and then I ended up being a counselor. But I would always, when we'd go on field trips to amusement parks, and I would gather with all the like little kids or the scaredy cats and be like, do you not want to go on a roller coaster?
Yeah.
Let's get Dippin' Dots. We're gonna hang out
Cool,
here.
cool.
It's okay to be scared. I'm terrified. I'm probably more scared than
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah.
That's nice.
I nearly lost a contract because I wouldn't go on scary rides for a client
Really?
deal. Yeah.
Yeah, forget about it.
Yeah, no.
But,
Hard pass.
I'll
Six
go-
Flags?
I went on the
Yeah.
Dora the Explorer ride, which is like for 3 to 6 year olds, and
That's
that got a
nice.
little high, man. Like that was.
I almost I
Swipey,
get
no
made fun
swiper,
of from
right?
my friend because I got a little freaked out on the Dumbo ride.
Yeah, that's the
At
one.
Disneyland?
But if you are with someone who's really going for it,
Oh.
you're going up and down really fast.
How do you guys feel about the Peter Pan ride at Disneyland?
We just talked about this,
Right?
didn't we? Yeah, Peter
Yeah.
Pan ride is my favorite ride at
done
Disneyland.
it.
There you go. You haven't
Yeah.
done it?
No, I've been to Disneyland once.
What? Well, it sounds like you didn't do
We
it
got to
right.
go. I want to do lots of field trips, but yeah,
Let's do it.
but the idea of like, even when they're talking about the rides in the book, and they're like, yeah, we can't have. What are the names? They have the
Oh, those
the
are fun.
names of some of the rides. God, what page is that on?
Oh yeah, he appreciated the part. He's like, oh damn, I hate that I
it's
love
the,
these.
the alliteration is great, but then later they're like, yeah, we can't even have the rides in the, T-Rex terror zone. I don't know, it's something like that, because people just keep getting hurt. Things keep going wrong. You can't have a ride. Oh yeah, there, you found it.
Page 97.
Wow.
The Hypsilophodont Highlands, the Triceratops territory, the Sauropod Swamp, the Carnivore Country, Stegosaurus South,
Yeah.
Velociraptor Valley,
Yeah, I
and
like that.
Pterosaur Peak.
Which is funny
that
because
Pterosaur Peak?
yeah, if you say it,
Yep.
but if you
What's
see
that first
it,
one? Hypsilophodont.
Hypsilophodont.
Ah, Hypsilophodont.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
But when the scientists are all discussing what's happening, it just seems so obvious to me, and so Hammond in this one especially makes me mad, because at least it's Sir Richard Attenborough, right, in the film, who's charming and wonderful.
Oh, he's
sells
lovely.
it.
He's
Because
jovial.
the scene where he's frustrated that they're all looking for the negatives is summed up in the movie by, I really hate that man.
Yeah.
And you can't blame him, because it's kind of funny and it's kind of a throwaway line, but in this thing he's like, God damn them, like they're just looking for the negatives.
Yeah.
And it's nice in the movie. There is that wonder, so you can understand why it would take a little bit for people to catch on. Whereas in this one, children are getting snatched up and their faces ripped off, and all of this steel, everything looks really scary. It's all kind of cagey, and he's clearly trying to prove that it's okay. But then he invites his grandchildren.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, he's trying to prove a point.
Yeah,
really.
at the expense of other
Well, they
people.
spared no expense. So
including
But in the
people.
movie, it really does feel like he does love his grandchildren.
Yes.
Grandpa!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
What do
yeah.
you think about the flipping of the ages of the kids?
I think it worked so well.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
love the fact, like, teamed up with the fact that Dr. Alan Grant doesn't like kids, and then all of a sudden you've got this snotty-nosed kid who's obsessed with dinosaurs, who they should really be getting along great. And I thought, the sporty younger Lexi didn't really fit into the world as well. I really much prefer the movie.
Yeah, I think it's a
yeah.
good dynamic. Yeah.
Well, and because you have this sort of foil, the little kid foil to Alan Grant, he's seeing himself in him, but doesn't really
Her
like.
So
name's
anybody
not
have-
Lexi in the movie, is it?
Does anybody have a little piece of paper? What's that? What about Lexi?
Is her name Lexi in the movie?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
It is.
Yeah, it's Lex and Tim. Does somebody have a little piece of paper they could roll up as a fake cigarette so I could put it in my mouth so I could read Samuel L. Jackson's line with a piece of paper hanging from my mouth? If you would please.
It just sits there bobbing,
Yeah,
like
I know,
suspending
it's so
gravity.
good.
Here we go.
good.
Okay, great. Because I
What
found.
page is this?
I want to do page 147 to talk about what we're talking about. I feel like the way to do this would be. Let me see.
Which
I think I
page?
want to do this. 147. And I'm just gonna just bear with
It's
me
like
for
a
a second,
candy
everybody.
cigarette.
Which part?
Yeah.
Do you need me to read anything? I'm excited.
Do you want to be the narrator?
Yeah.
Okay, Rachel, can you be Gennaro?
Sure.
Starts with the line, just not now.
Can I be Gennaro?
You want to be Gennaro?
Yeah.
You want to swap?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, please.
Here we go.
You do
This is
good
it.
voices.
This is how it works.
Oh my God! It's so good.
Yeah.
Pepper needs more wine.
Yes, I do. Please go ahead, wind me. There we go.
Oh my God! Did you see the graphic that our graphic team made today? It's
Excellent.
Excellent.
someone you have to look at it after the show. It's a wine glass, and it does the water glass rippling
Ooh.
and does a dinosaur noise
Oh,
and
that's
goes,
cool.
What?
It's wine finds a way. It's really great.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wine
really
finds
good.
a way
That's really
into
good.
my mouth.
It's
All right.
on now.
So
but-
what are you,
Oh my God.
Gennaro?
Yes.
And you're the narrator? You should. It's on camera. Don't worry. It's right here. It's
know,
right here.
it's so
Look how
good.
good. It's so fun to do, guys.
It's
I don't
so
smoke, but
good.
this is the most fun thing ever.
And you can't smoke.
Okay.
I don't know.
Here we go.
Where are we starting?
Where are we starting from?
Yeah, I'm the narrator. Where do I
just
start?
not just now, Gennaro.
Not just now.
Wait, what page are we on?
147.
5 lines down.
Gennaro said.
What about your mechanical systems?
You mean the rides?
Arnold said. Grant looked up sharply. Rides?
None of the rides are running yet.
Arnold was saying.
We have the Jungle River ride where the boats follow tracks underwater, and we have the Aviary Lodge Ridge, but none of it's operational yet. The park will open with the basic dinosaur tour, the one that you're about to take in a few minutes. The other rides will come online 6, 12 months after that.
Wait a minute, Grant said. You're going to have rides like an amusement park? Arnold said.
This is a zoological park. We have tours of different areas, and we call them rides, that's all.
Grant frowned. Again, he felt troubled. He didn't like the idea of dinosaurs being used for an amusement park. Malcolm continued his questions. You want to do Malcolm? Or are you doing Malcolm?
You can run the whole park from this control room?
Sorry, I got distracted.
Yes.
Arnold said.
I can run it single-handed if I have to. We've got that much automation built in. The computer by itself can track the animals, feed them, and fill their water troughs for 48 hours without supervision. This is the system Mr. Nedry designed.
Malcolm asked. Dennis Nedry was sitting at a terminal in a far corner of the room, eating a candy bar and typing.
You can just see it all over his
yeah.
face, can't you? Just
Yes,
he
that's
wipes
right.
it on his shirt.
Nedry said, not looking up from the keyboard.
It's a hell of a system.
Arnold said proudly.
All right, that's good. That's enough of that. That's
Yeah.
fun to do, guys.
It's
You
very
gotta do
good.
the cigarette.
It's super fun.
Hold on to your butts.
And I was gonna say something and I forgot what
It's okay.
it was.
I got another section I want to do.
Yeah.
Where am I? I'm on page 80.
They're flocking.
83. I want to try my crack at Malcolm here. So I'm going to try
people
Malcolm.
People want Alpha Book Club merch from your
Woo.
mouth to
Woo.
the suit's ears.
No, Steven.
How do we get a wine and a book in one? Are we pouring the wine into the book and it creates the words? I'm sorry, I'm just workshopping all of a sudden.
Is there a wine bottle with the book label?
I have been pushing. We're on it.
Our words, our ink off of the page dipping into wine that we're in a glass that we're drinking. I don't know.
Just a stemless wine glass with the logo would be dope.
I agree. Yeah.
Right?
Where are we going?
We need a narrator, and we need Gennaro, and we need. This is mostly Malcolm.
That's okay. I'll be Gennaro again.
Okay, great. Okay, great.
What page?
This is 83, halfway down the page, page 83.
Okay, 1 second.
All right.
Halfway down the. Is it? I understand.
Yes,
that
it
where
is.
you- Okay.
I understand.
Malcolm said.
I'll get there. Chaos theory says two things. First, that complex systems like weather have an underlying order. Second, the reverse of that simple systems can produce complex behavior. For example, pool balls. You hit a pool ball and it starts to carom off of the sides of the table. In theory, that's a fairly simple system, almost a Newtonian system, since you know the force imparted to the ball and the mass of the ball, and you can calculate the angles at which it will strike the walls. You can predict the future behavior of the ball. In theory, you could predict the behavior of the ball far into the future as it keeps bouncing from side to side. You could predict where it will end up 3 hours from now, in theory.
Okay.
Gennaro nodded.
But in fact,
Malcolm said.
it turns out you can't predict more than a few seconds into the future, because almost immediately very small effects, imperfections in the surface of the ball, tiny indentations in the wood of the table start to make a difference. And it doesn't take long before they overpower your careful calculations. So it turns out that the simple behavior, the simple system of a pool ball on a table has unpredictable behavior.
Okay.
And Hammond's project
Malcolm said.
is another apparently simple system, animals within a zoo environment that will eventually show unpredictable behavior.
You know this because of...
Theory.
Malcolm said.
But hadn't you better see the island to see what he's actually done?
No, that is quite unnecessary. The details don't matter. Theory tells me that the island will quickly proceed to behave in unpredictable fashion.
And you're confident of your theory?
Oh, yes.
Malcolm said.
Totally confident.
He sat back in the chair.
There's a problem with that island. It is an accident waiting to happen. It just turned into Barack Obama. My Malcolm turned into Obama.
That was so good.
I
It's
just
like, is Jeff
that.
Goldblum in the room?
No, I got to work on that, but
No,
so
it was
fun
very
to do.
good.
So good. And were you guys listening to the John Williams score?
So Hector sent us a really great.
Finally.
Not me yet.
Not you?
Not me yet.
No, I
You sent a YouTube link and I was on a plane.
So
well,
it
that's
was
the
a
best I could do.
YouTube
I can download the
tweeted-
music. It's on my iPod.
I bought the
so-
book again though.
So I had
Good.
this. I
Ready
had
to do
the. I listened to the one that you sent, and then I also was listening to the Spotify
Cool.
soundtrack.
How's it go?
But no. I'm not gonna fall for that.
Jurassic Park.
He also will sing the Jurassic Park song that Jeff Goldblum often sings. He'll sing that at the.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's
He
really
will?
fun. But
I
no,
thought
it
he was singing
really added to it, especially because the beginning of the score is not the hopeful
Correct, it's scary.
score that we are most familiar with. It's the
scary.
scarier part. And in the beginning, you've got babies getting their faces
know.
ripped off, so it
I
really
know.
worked. And I kept listening to it. And same with Harry Potter. It's John Williams is
I mean, he's the master.
a genius.
He's the best of all time.
But it really helped. And Hector, sent us the link, and
I should have
told you
downloaded
I
it on
listened and you
Spotify
were,
before I got on a plane.
He
That
was
was my
so
bad.
happy.
I'll do it. I promise
That's
you.
okay.
Second
You
half
can
of
do
this
that.
book.
What I like to do, I downloaded the soundtrack off of iTunes. I like to listen to a track and have it repeat. If it just
Yeah.
loop itself until I move on to the next section in the book, and then I physically move it into that next one. Because again,
Oh,
to
I
keep
like
that,
that. To
because
keep
if you
the
don't-
mood,
to keep the mood.
I like that.
And I did the same thing with Harry Potter too, because it's like you got to keep the mood in the scene. Otherwise, it
it's-
starts to
that's
get
good. I'm gonna-
whimsical and wonderful. I'm like,
you're
no,
like,
this little girl's
no.
face is still getting eaten.
Yeah.
It doesn't match. It doesn't match.
That's
so
fair. I'm gonna do that
yeah.
for the next section. I've been doing it the whole time. I really like it.
Cool.
And
That's my plan.
speaking
This I'm gonna
of
read books to my kids. This is the
moody,
plan.
It's a good plan.
Put it on in the background.
Yes.
It
I'm
depends
reading
on,
and
it
listening.
depends on the book.
I'm going between two ways to
Depends on the
consume
book.
this
That's
book.
great.
Depends on the
That's
book.
great.
But before we wrap up for this week, can we talk about the last part of this section, because it's
Yeah.
scary
Yeah.
and they're
It's so much more violent. My gosh.
Yeah.
This is like before, it was just like, he gave it a bit of a nudge, a bit of a what. I also thought it was interesting.
Who's your father? A bit of a bit of a.
we're just making the
winky-tinky.
dinosaurs cute.
Yeah. Right.
I really like the fact that because Dr. Alan Grant is learning like at an exponential rate, like he's only used fossilized remains to
Yeah,
piece things
no,
together.
it's
and now he's seeing
exciting
it and he's
and
like,
sad.
oh my God. But in the movie, he already knew to stay still. And in the book, he's learning it for the first time. And I think that is so much more frightening.
It is.
Because it's a risk. And he's staying still and
Yeah.
he's like, holy hell, he can't see. Can you not see me? And he can't do anything else. Dr. Ian Malcolm, bolted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gennaro, see you later. Gone.
And it's like
And he's just
if you watch the movie, you could technically argue that Grant is also still taking a risk, because obviously he's never interacted with a live dinosaur before, so he's just going off of his knowledge.
Yeah.
People keep going back and forth between did they have feathers or not,
Sure,
and there's
sure.
stuff there. You're always kind of learning, and it's interesting that they're basically they're monsters. They're what
Yeah.
we think of when we think of monsters. And in a horror movie, you have
Yeah.
to learn the rules. Where it's like, oh, are they blind? Like in The
Yep.
Descent,
Yeah.
they're blind because they were in the cave. And this one, it's okay, they can't see me. And having him figure it out on the spot.
Yeah.
It could have gone the other way.
holy hell could that have gone
Yeah.
Could have gotten
badly.
eaten off a toilet.
That's a thing that may have been a little bit difficult to convey in a film.
Yeah.
So they feel like they kind of shortcutted it. And I also do love, I was surprised that when they first pull up with the goat during the daytime before the storm hits, that the T-Rex does come out and eats the goat. And I was kind of like, this is a thing I like, a change to the film, that there are so many opportunities where Crichton describes how there's dinosaurs everywhere. When they're first going through the park, they do see dinosaurs in different locations before they get to the T-Rex pen. And I like how it may have been a budget thing, it may have been like a logistical thing of like, look, Stephen, we can't have dinosaurs in every single scene, but it also helps to me for the storytelling.
it builds suspense.
It's
Yes.
a Steven Spielberg trope that he
It's
does.
Jaws.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Where
Wait,
it's like
yeah,
you
you-
hear about it, you see rustling, you don't actually see it. And remember that I think the first real full practical dinosaur that we saw was the Stegosaurus. And that
You mean the
was
Triceratops. Yeah,
The
you're right,
Stegosaurus
and
was-
it's wonderful,
And it
yeah.
was just astounding to
Yeah.
see it breathing and so vulnerable and
Yeah,
weak.
and to see the actors interact
that's-
with
So
it.
I'm glad that that's
the
how he
practical
played that.
effects, but it's also, as a horror fan or scary anything, they show too much now. They
Yes.
show way too much. Everyone
And-
should take a note from Steven
Yes.
Spielberg and
Yes.
not, because that's suspense. That's why ghost movies get me more, because if you're not seeing it, it's
Right.
just like the others, doors
Because
slamming.
your imagination will always be scarier than
That's
the
why I
actual
can't watch horror
answer.
because my imagination is
Yeah.
freaking
But
unreal.
it's
man.
fine to show-
You just,
yeah.
you just voted for reading first.
Yes and no. Here's the trick.
Your imagination is always better.
Imagination is always better when you leave it up to the imagination to examine it. I think especially when it comes to scary things.
Yes.
When it comes to wondrous things, it's tough for you to beat with your imagination them seeing the Brontosaurus with John Williams' score. You know what I mean? That's the key. So I think Spielberg is so smart knowing that it's okay to show the dinosaurs, to reveal the dinosaurs in the book, because your imagination is creating the dinosaurs. But for Spielberg in the live action movie, they knew, like, let's actually leave the imagination to the viewer for a little bit up to the point where they get to the T-Rex to build up the suspense.
You don't know what's going to happen, and that the scene of it like roaring is one of the most iconic
at
moments
nighttime
in
the
film.
rain,
With the
comes out of
car.
the fence. It's the best. And if we had seen that T-Rex, if we had seen her in the daytime earlier, just like eating a goat, everyone would have been like, "Oh, cool, okay." Not that scary. So that later at nighttime we would have been like, okay, we know what to expect.
Seeing it for the first time.
That's the key.
It's
actually that brought me up to a gripe in the movie. I mean, it's really, they hone in on it. They go over it a lot. All the dinosaurs are female, and yet I think it's Gennaro who's the gameskeeper.
Muldoon.
Yep. Refers to the dinosaurs as he constantly.
And there's this line in the book earlier where they do say, like, I think Dr. Wu, whoever, they say, like, even though all the dinosaurs are female, we call the T-Rex like he. Like they just like,
because
I don't know why.
Big and formidable and scary.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I kind of wish
just like
that
a
there was just
bullshit
like,
reason.
no, she, her.
Yeah.
I wanted that.
It is the patriarchy.
At work.
It's just like scientists can't even, after they made them all female, they still can't even stick in their head to call all of them she. They're like,
My gosh, every time I walk around with my dog, oh, who is he? What's his name?
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, man, can my dog not be a girl?
Which is weird. I feel like with cats, it's the opposite. You assume it's a girl. People
Isn't that
assume a cat
interesting?
is a girl because feline is more feminine
Yeah.
for whatever reason.
What gender is a toaster?
The brave little toaster, I always thought was a boy, but I think it's a girl.
No, I think it's a boy.
It's a boy. It's a
Brave
young
Little
boy.
Toaster did not go to Australia.
Oh,
But he went to Mars.
it's scary.
Yeah. He did. One of his
I
movies.
know. I've seen it.
Yeah, he went to Mars.
That one's scary too.
Probably.
We don't even have toast, we have porridge.
Porridge is good.
What? That's not the same. Y'all have bread,
It's breakfast.
right? Y'all
What
have
about
bread
the little
though?
egg? You did the spoon. You did a little. I don't like those. All right, it's time to announce our homework. This week we're reading up to page 322, stopping at the heading Tyrannosaur. Ooh, that's really exciting. Don't forget we're also on Goodreads. I just added a bunch of stuff to my Goodreads.
I know,
I'm
I
trying to
stalked
branch
you the other
out.
week.
I know.
Ooh.
Did you see that?
I think I
tried
still
to recommend you. I added you.
Not
Maybe.
that, not that I'm keeping track, but I think I still have the highest number of stuff on Goodreads.
Of read books?
Yes.
Are you putting
215.
comics on there?
Yeah, because they count,
215.
Rachel. They count.
All
Yeah,
right.
215 items read.
How long are the
16
comics?
bloody pages or something. That's
No, it's not
Are they
16
single
blood. How
issues
dare
or
you?
are they
How dare you?
volumes? What are they?
Volumes. They're paperbacks, which could be anywhere from
new poll
like
up right now.
150
Vote
to 300
is
pages.
a comic
Page.
heavily
Very quickly.
weighted
It's not that
on
quickly. Not that
Goodreads
quickly.
as a full book? Let me know in the comments below.
Yeah.
I bet you if
Are
we
Team
tallied it
Hector
up,
or team the rest of the world?
still have more pages probably.
Number one.
My pages have pictures, sir, but still, that's pages is pages, man.
No.
I'm just saying,
17 words.
it turns out I'm the
He's
more,
not a
I'm-
book.
Hey,
No.
it turns out I'm the most voracious reader here. No big deal. That's fine. I'm fine with taking that title.
Maud and I are going to destroy you.
Prove
after
me
this.
wrong. Add more
Please
to your
come
list.
recommend
Add more.
books for us. I have such
was
a
that?
long to read list, but I'm trying to get non-murder
I've
books on there.
smashed out 3 more books on my holiday, guys.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just listen to books on the plane.
Plane's
I
the
read books.
best.
I'm reading, I think, 4 right now. Also,
You
if you haven't told a friend, don't forget, we said at the beginning of the show, sign up for 60 free days of Alpha by using the promo code PADFOOT. That means you get to finish Jurassic Park, you can rewatch the earlier episodes, or your friend can, and then do Harry Potter, and then whatever the next thing is.
And if you don't have a friend, don't fret, because I don't really either. So
You could tweet about it, you can make a
Bullshit.
new friend.
We're your
hey,
friend.
we're
exactly,
friends.
you're on the show.
But you could tweet about it. You could give it to someone at a coffee shop. You want to come chat with us? Come chat with us. You can put your beautiful face. We'll talk to
Get
you.
on the
Just let us
show.
know on Twitter
Get in the
@join
water, baby.
Team
Get in the water.
Alpha with the hashtag Alpha Book Club and Lost the Numbers, aka Lee. We'll get you all set up. And after we read our next Harry Potter book, we need more book recommendations.
Yeah.
So tweet us Alpha Book
Name
Club.
of the wind.
I would like to do something.
The Hobbit.
The Hobbit. Something fantasy. We love you very much.
I'll get Patrick Rothfuss on the show.
It's been a rough couple of weeks
Yeah,
in the
man.
news, and this show
Yeah.
is a bright spot in a dark world. So thank you very much.
You got some more wine left that you need to take care of. There we go.
Bye.
All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Bye.